Tortoises can't swim, but they can float. And about 3 million years ago, one of them, a large species from the South American forests, was carried away perhaps by a flash flood and swept out to sea. After weeks, maybe even months, they eventually landed on an island. And one of them, perhaps a gravid female, produced eggs. As time passed, they spread into other islands in the archipelago. Giant tortoises had arrived in the Galapagos. An adult Heliconius butterfly emerges after 8 days of transformation. Its delicate wings are crumpled and wet. It stretches them by pumping blood along their veins, and then waits for them to dry before attempting to fly. From this point on, its body will not grow or change. It will live for just a month or two and feed just enough to keep itself going. This body is purely for mating. A male's antennae can detect female scent from more than 1 kilometre away. And he's off to find a female. Success for this butterfly is reproduction, as it is for all species. And that need has shaped the bodies, the behavior, the entire life cycle of all arthropods and produced the dazzling range of forms that we see around us in the world today. This is an assassin bug. To us, it's easy enough to spot because it moves. To its prey, that's irrelevant because it smells like one of their number. The assassin sucks its victims dry and glues their empty husks onto its back. This one is already carrying at least 20 corpses. Its irregular shape makes it hard for other predators to spot it, and makes it virtually invisible to its prey, ants. It enters this ant colony unchallenged. Its coat of ant corpses masks its own odour. To the ants, it smells like one of their own, and that's what matters. They'll even run straight over the top of it. The assassin simply takes an ant whenever it feels hungry. And the body of each victim then adds to its disguise. This is the Luckham oak. It germinated from an acorn in the year 1762, and it's one of the oldest plants in Kew. Its roots are covered with a fungus. But that's not an affliction. That's the reason why this tree was able to live for so long. Because the fungus can do something that the oak tree can't. It can extract nitrogen directly from the soil, and then the oak tree collects it from the fungus. And in return, the fungus takes sugars from the sap in the roots of the oak tree. So it's a mutually convenient arrangement, a symbiotic relationship. In fact, we now know that around 90% of the species of plants on the earth depend upon fungi one way or another. This primitive, rootless plant from the Chihuahua Desert in Mexico is a spike moss, Selaginella. It's also called the resurrection plant because of its ability to seemingly come back from the dead. Rain starts a complex biochemical change in its cells that enables it to ramp up its metabolism and grow very quickly while it can. But the most spectacular consequence of rain in the desert is an explosion of colour. Desert flowers are as colourful as any in the world. They have to attract pollinators quickly before the deserts dry out once again. But moisture in the soil can evaporate almost as quickly as it arrives, and after a brief bloom, they die. He's about 80 years old, and he's getting a bit creaky in his joints, as indeed am I. He is arguably the rarest animal in the world. Certainly there can be none rarer, for he is the last of his kind. His female died a long, long time ago. When he dies, the Pinta species of Galapagos tortoise will be extinct. But he's a very important animal. Probably more than any other single creature, he's focused the attention of the world on the fragility of our environment. And he's stimulated science to look into whole new areas of research here in the Galapagos. Nobody knows why it's pink. Could it be that to be pink up here brings something good? We don't know. Maybe this was once spread widely over the island, and this is just the relic population that's left. Again, we don't know. Goodbye.